Hello, thank you so much for returning to my YouTube channel or coming to visit me for the first time. My name's Charlotte Snowball and it is a pleasure to have you here with me today. So hopefully you watched my last vlog, which was on Havana in Cuba, where I went for Christmas with my mum. If you haven't, I'll link it somewhere so you can go and have a look. So maybe watch that one first, because then this one will make more sense. So this is like the follow, because when we went to Cuba, we started in Havana for about 3 days and then we travelled around the rest of Cuba. Well, not the rest of Cuba because we only had 2 weeks, but other places in Cuba. So you may already notice that this travel vlog, I guess it's more of a travel video, because I'm not in Cuba. I'm actually at home in England, unfortunately. Well, the weather's really terrible and I'd much rather be in Cuba. So the reason for doing this is because after we left Havana, I got really sick. I got a stomach infection and a kidney infection and I had to go to hospital. First tip of traveling Cuba, get travel insurance, because when you're in hospital they charge you for everything. So because I got sick, it took away a few days of our holiday and my ability to vlog. So I thought I would sit down and do it this way. So from Havana, we traveled down by bus to Playa Larga, which is beautiful. It has the most beautiful beaches and we watched some of the most impressive sunsets I've ever seen. We also went on another bus from our Airbnb. So we went down to this place where we could go snorkeling or scuba diving. We went snorkeling because scuba diving just seemed a little too strenuous for what we wanted to be a relaxing holiday. It was amazing. The sea was completely clear, like swimming pool clear. And then there was this gorgeous little like natural swimming pool as well. They were just both spectacular. We also got tattoos. I got a little palm tree. We danced on the beach. And then we watched the sun come up, sunrise. After we'd been home at 10, gone to sleep, woken up, walked down. So we didn't wait up for sunrise, we weren't that cool, but we did see it rise and it was beautiful. And we stayed in a really, really lovely Airbnb. They were so nice, especially when I got sick. But the only downside of this Airbnb was waking up to this noise. Yeah, it wasn't the best wake up call, especially when it was at 5 AM, but that's what got us up for sunrise. Everywhere in Playa Larga is the same, so you just have to get used to it, and it's the only downside. We then travelled by taxi to Trinidad. Trinidad is beautiful. It's where I got really, really sick and went into hospital, so I couldn't really do much. I know there are loads of tours and waterfalls which are beautiful. From Trinidad, we went up to Badadera. I'm gonna put a little thing there saying the name. If I'm honest, this wasn't my favourite place. We only went really because I got sick and we couldn't really do much. We basically, sadly, just had to sit on a beach and do nothing but sunbathe and get sun and swim in the sea. I know, tough, right? It's very, very touristy. So as soon as we arrived, we didn't feel like we were in Cuba anymore. It was kind of like Benidorm, but in Cuba. So it's all like all-inclusive hotels. Everyone's a tourist and it kind of makes the local people a bit more rude. I would recommend going somewhere else, just my honest opinion. However, saying that, the beaches were incredible. So if you just want to spend the last bit of your holiday on a beautiful beach where you're guaranteed amazing weather, crystal clear blue sea and white sand, then go there. And the sunsets were amazing as well there. And we managed to find like little markets and things and go on nice walks. Cuba has always been somewhere that's like the top of my to-go list, but not somewhere that I was gonna rush to, because I think when you go traveling, people always like go to Southeast Asia or Australia, New Zealand, Canada. You don't think about these little quaint places that are gonna start changing, and at the minute they're amazing and there's so much history behind it and the locals are just amazing. Recommend you go soon because it probably will start changing, which is very sad. So go now. And also the locals need the money for tourism. So make sure when you go you stay in an Airbnb rather than a hotel, because everything there is owned by the government. People who work for the government, their average monthly wage is $20 a month. $20 a month. That's what bizarre. Like we get paid that maybe in an hour here, or like 2 hours. And for a doctor, it's $50 a month for a really well-trained doctor, which is just crazy. So if you go stay in an Airbnb and give them your money, because the locals really, really need it. Anyway, I hope you've liked this video. Sorry it's not been much of a travel vlog, it's more of a travel video, but either way, I hope you've enjoyed it. Have the absolute best and greatest week, and remember to be the change that you wish to see in the world.